Washing dishes are the bane of my existence. In my humble opinion, it's one of the most exhausting household chores that I have. And because I hate it so bad, it is the first thing that gets neglected during a depressive episode. The reason why I hate washing dishes so much, it's because it was a huge point of contention in my household when it shouldn't have been. So growing up in my household, my primary responsibility was cleaning the kitchen. To be real with you, cleaning the kitchen is not that hard. It becomes difficult when you grow up with a parent who makes it unreasonably hard when it doesn't have to be. Growing up, my dad had undiagnosed and untreated mental health issues. And when my dad got triggered, whether that was because he got triggered at work, got triggered on his way home, got triggered in something that just happened in his personal life, he was always going to take that out on me. And he took it out on me by lashing out. And for my dad, one of the easiest lash out topics was how I cleaned the kitchen, but specifically how I washed dishes. Growing up, it did not matter what I did and how I did it. I never could wash the dishes correctly. I'm not supposed to use this. I'm supposed to use that. You're not using enough water. You're using too much water. You should have washed the dishes at this time, but since you didn't, now you've messed everything up. You put every dish up except this one fork. Now I gotta beat your ass. Go get my belt. I learned absolutely nothing except the fact that when I grew up and got in my own home, I was not going to do dishes. And that's all because of the negative association that I have with washing dishes or just cleaning the kitchen at all. But obviously, when you get in the real world and you have your own spot, you have to wash your dishes. The beauty of having your own place is that you get to make the rules. We had a dishwasher at home, but we were not allowed to use it. In my dad's eyes, dishes weren't clean unless you hand washed them. And even though I grew up with the rhetoric that using a dishwasher was really lazy, who cares about being lazy as long as it gets done? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Simone and I'm your professor in Starting Over. And today we're starting over with doing the dishes. Starting Over is a series where I introduce skills that we might have lost in skill regression. I give you a very low effort way to get shit done, and then I give a more extensive way if that's your vibe. To be honest with you, I feel like shit and low effort is the way for me. So let's do a very low effort way of getting our dishes clean. And that is by using my favorite appliance, the dishwasher. This is my dishwasher. She's lovely. I use her every single day. Because I'm the most scatterbrained person on earth, I have a little magnet that tells me when dishes are dirty and when dishes are clean. In my dishwasher, we have a top rack, a bottom rack, and a little drawer for utensils. And then we also have where our detergent and rinsing aid goes. Because I'm cleaning dishes, I'm going to put this sign to dirty because dirty dishes are going into my dishwasher. In the bottom rack of my dishwasher, this is where my pots, plates, silverware, and like cooking utensils like spatulas and tongs and stuff, and like cups and mugs, it's gonna go here. Me personally, I don't pre-rinse my dishes. If they're not clean, I will just hand wash them myself. And if I'm going through a depressive episode, then I will literally just run the dishwasher twice. I don't care. Like I said, it doesn't matter how it gets done as long as it gets done. So with my plates, I'm going to put it in this way. So like the part that you eat off of faces where this little bin is. You'll see these little prongs that are sticking straight up, and this is where I'm gonna put my cups and my mugs. For silverware, the part that would usually be in contact with food, I'm going to put it in sticking straight up. Personally, this is how I organize all my stuff in my dishwasher. So I would put knives all the way back here. I would put things like tongs and spatulas right here, and I would put my silverware here and here because I have a lot of it. Today, I don't necessarily mind the fact that I am touching food or things that are like a little bit soggy with food, but on the days where I'm having really bad sensory issues, then I will just get the dishwashing gloves from Target. They're like, I want to say no more than like $5 for a pack of 2. There are just some days where I do not want to touch food or like dirty dishes, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, it doesn't matter what fucking accommodations you need as long as it's getting done. So now we've tackled the bottom rack. Let's tackle the top rack. So the top rack is pretty much for everything else, but specifically things like Tupperware or things that are plastic but are still safe to put in the dishwasher. I also put my bowls in the top rack, like this. So you want things like your bowls to be flipped all the way down so water can reach it, so it can actually get all of the stuff off of it. If you leave it to the side, then it's not necessarily going to get clean as well, or that dirty water is just going to sit in it. Now it's time for the detergents. Let's talk about the detergents that I use, because the detergents that I use are very, very important. Most of the time, I don't give a fuck if you use a name brand or you use a generic brand, but when it comes to using dishwasher things, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that the name brand is going to work so much better. Whenever I have used generic detergents and generic rinse aids, I've always had like the residue of like the detergent on my dishes still, or it's just not as effective of getting things clean. Now, are you spending a little more money by getting the name brand? Yes. But it's so willing to spend that extra $3 to $5 if you have it, because you'll save so much more money in the long run, because by using the name brand, you're preventing having to start a new cycle or hand wash. You're just doing less washes that way. My personal favorite is the Finish Gel in the orange scent. I just like how it smells. I don't have a lot of dishes, so I'm not gonna fill it up all the way. I'm gonna fill it about halfway. Now let's get into rinse aids. Now, rinse aid for dishes is essentially the same as what Rain-X does to your car. Meaning that when rinse aid is mixed with water, it helps water just slide off your dishes. And what that means is you do not have to dry your dishes taking them out of the dishwasher. I'm sure if you've never really used rinse aid, something you'll notice is that when you open the dishwasher, there's water still on your dishes and you have to dry them to put them up. With rinse aid, you don't have to do that. And I've used generic rinse aids before and they work, but honestly, they're not as effective as Cascade. With rinse aid, you don't have to put it in every wash. It usually lasts for about a month. So every dishwasher is different, but there's usually like a little tiny dial that can determine how much rinse aid you're using. I put mine all the way up to max. When I open this dishwasher, I don't want to do shit. I just want to take my dishes out and put them up. Now you close both doors. It's time to start washing your dishes. I don't have a lot of dishes in the sink, so I'm just gonna do a 1 hour cycle because there's so little. If I was filling the dishwasher all the way up, then I would use normal. And if there was a lot of dirt and grime and shit on my dishes, I'm using heavy and calling it a night. But it's short and sweet, so we're just gonna do a 1 hour rinse. Dry boost is gonna be high. Like I said, I just wanna take my dishes out. I don't wanna do anything else. And we're gonna click start, and we're done. Dishes are now being washed. And congratulations, bad bitch. You now have a very low effort way of washing your dishes. And it doesn't matter if it's a lazy way to wash dishes, you're still getting your dishes clean. Who the fuck cares? You are doing everything you need to do as an adult, and I'm proud of you.